Back here on MLB Now, and this released on this Monday, the Contemporary Era Committee ballot. Things have changed. The voting has changed for what we used to call the Veterans Committee, 1980 and up. That's the players only this year. Then it's managers and executives, 1980 and up. Next year, 2023, and then what they're calling classic baseball is in 2024. That's pre-1980. But this is for players. They went from 10 candidates to 8. A screening committee has put these names together, and you see it is Albert Bell, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Don Mattingly, Fred McGriff, Dale Murphy, Rafael Palmeiro, and Curt Schilling. Back now, Bull Porter, Al Leiter. I'll just say this. I didn't think it was a fait accompli that the screening committee would go to Bonds and Clemens. Schilling, yes, because there's not the thought. There's other extraneous things that have affected his candidacy, but not PEDs. And Palmeiro surprises me in that, okay, but I guess they're influenced by, if you're putting Bonds and Clemens on there, Palmeiro failed a drug test, but so is Manny Ramirez, and he's getting votes on the writers' ballot. Where are you on this?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long this list, as far as it can go, as it did with the writers for 10 years, but I think it's so compelling now. And as we move further away from the PED era, I think it has to be a conversation for those in the room. I think that might be the...
Oh, if there's any question. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. But that aside, looking at these guys, a couple that just scream out for me. Freddie McGriff, got a chance to play with Freddie, and what he did in his career, I still don't understand it. I really don't. I mean, you look at what he did with Silver Slugger.
Well, we understand it. What happened was, suddenly guys weren't hitting, he was hitting 33 and 35 home runs. He started slowing down, and at that moment, guys started hitting 66 and 73. That's what happened. It happened all, like by the time he retired, he's at 493 home runs.
He's 47.
And they passed him in the fast lane.
All right, so let's go. All right, if we don't want to go with the 493 home runs, he's 47th all-time, right below Willie McCovey and ahead of Willie Stargell with 1,550 RBIs. Having faced guys that thirst to want to drive in runs, he was as good.
Wait a minute.
Time out. What the heck's going on here?
What?
You're trying to
Is that you?
Me. Yeah.
Oh, that's not right. No, Al, you're getting the wrong impression. I'm sorry. I've done enough essays on Fred McGriff. I'm for Fred McGriff. He's an excellent candidate. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Where are you? Let's just deal with this.
All right.
Should those guys be on the ballot? And what do we think happens on the Veterans Committee?
Well, one, I think they should be on the ballot. And I'm going to go to probably two of the most controversial guys on the list, Bonds and Clemens. And I played during the steroid era. One of my teammates said this to me one day about steroids. It will make an average player good, a good player great, and a great player may end up doing things we've never seen done in our game before. But I'm going to take Barry Bonds' career, and I'm just going to look at the first 13 seasons of his career. From 86 to 1998, 3 MVPs, 8 Gold Gloves. He has a WAR of 99.9. There's only one person in their first 13 seasons with a higher WAR than 99.9, and it's Roger Hornsby.
Right. Listen, so I know what you're saying.
So for me,
lean Barry Bonds, skinny Barry was a great player. Skinny Roger
before there
Clemens
was any allegations of steroids, he was a Hall of Fame player.
Okay.
Now, yeah, but does it matter to you that they weren't a clean player for their whole career? Clemens, the same thing. As a skinny guy, pre-PEDs, and we don't know for sure exactly when it started, but you can tell by body mass, and when they hit their mid-30s, suddenly they got even better. But that's some writers think that way, but what about honoring a player that you know circumvented the system?
This is why it doesn't matter to me, because I don't think at no point in our game we would ever be able to go back and pinpoint everybody who used steroids. So it's not like steroids was available for a certain group of people. Steroids was rampant throughout our game, and there are players that are in the Hall of Fame that may not have tested positive, but use steroids.
That's true, but then you're saying let's just open it all up?
For me, yes.
Okay.
Because there's no way to pinpoint who actually used it. That's why I go to the body of work, in my opinion, before it became rampant in our game. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Fame player.
I look at it this way. I would, if I were voting, I would try to choose the clean player to honor, because that's what this is. It's I would try. And actually, Fred McGriff, his whole legacy was hurt by those who suddenly made his accomplishments look pedestrian. And so you might have a situation here where you look, say, hey, let's try to get a guy who hit 493 that we believe was clean. Where are you on what Bo was saying?
God, for the long look, I think what Bo's saying is spot on. It's now getting.
You agree with that?
Well, no, I
said it was spot on.
No, spot on with respect to it's getting clouded. It's becoming more cloudy.
It's always
when
cloudy,
we get further along, and there's guys that we're not sure. Now this is where it gets a little bit cloudy. And here was my separator. If there was something clear cut, Palmeiro
failed the test.
Failed the test.
Yeah.
To me, there's black and white stuff. Then it becomes the gray. Everybody looking, he looked pretty big. Oh my God, did you see BK this year? He's a lot bigger. We started doing this, this witch hunt kind of thing. Look, you say it was rampant. I know what I put in mine. Mine was pizza and beer.
Yes.
And it ticks me off.
And I know I didn't do it.
I faced guys that were larger than life, and it made it really hard on me as a pitcher.
I lost jobs to players that I know use steroids.
So, but that doesn't, it's incongruent then what you're saying.
No, because
he's saying they're Hall of Famers before.
Because if I wanted to do it or if I chose to do it, it was readily available. I chose not to do it. So I can't complain because there are certain players that decided to do it.
You chose to play by the rules of the system.
That's my own personal thought.
But you would give these guys the highest honor in the sport even though they cheated you guys.
Well, this is the thing.
They didn't cheat me. They cheated you.
But this is the thing.
They entertained me.
BK.
They cheated you.
BK.
Yeah.
So at the height of the game, it's not like you can look and say, well, his numbers were increased because he hit off of this many guys that didn't use steroids, but these guys use steroids, so I'm going to take his numbers away. When you look at the body of work, and even you look at Roger Clemens in his first 15 seasons, he had 5 Cy Young awards.
I agree.
The body of work is there.
They were great
prior to the heightened usage of steroids in our game.
I had to do a top 50 player, the top 10 right now of the last 50 years. And I just said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, because this is not the Hall of Fame. I want to rank them properly, but I'm going to, I don't want to put him over other great players and reward them for that. But I rank them on their skinny years alone. Skinny years alone, Bonds and Clemens are in the top 10. So I agree with you there. The rest, though, I'm not there with it.
You can't agree with me.
The next generation,
Kinda.
the next generation is Katie bar the door. But I don't think the next generation gets this vote on the Veterans Committee. These are older voters. They haven't announced what the committee is. By the way, Don Mattingly's a great candidate. Dale Murphy's a great candidate. And these guys were exemplary in the sport.
By the way, if Kurt Schilling didn't have his political views, he should have been in.
He should have gone in year one. Yeah, he should have been voted in year one, Al. We have a lot of opinions here. You know, this is day one of this. You come back, wear a suit. We'll talk about it the whole winter. All right.
I like your tie.
Thank you.